Just somebody having a good day. Who's that sound like to you? Um, could be anybody. At 8 a.m., could be nobody. I mean, it really could be what you think it is today when you just woke up. How you're feeling, how you doing. Um, why do I ask you how you doing? Why do I want to be asked how I'm doing? Um, it's a general consensus of how you feel and how I feel and what we're feeling, as well as how your life is going and how your day is going, and you're just kind of staying in the moment. So not even talking about your life, but just talking about uh, your aches, your pains, your ups, your downs. Uh, we'll let people get in here. Be about a minute. Should get out to the powers that be, but we watch a lot of stuff, we listen to a lot of stuff, we make a lot of assumptions, and we gain where we're trying to go or head in a broad sense of what kind of change we're trying to affect. I'm trying to get to work, stay to work, um, trying to get just that the money right, fair pay, um, fair treatment of what it is to work for someone else while you're making 22 an hour and they're making 200 an hour. What a company that makes billions is making versus what we're making. You didn't see a million last year. You didn't see 50,000 last year. You're probably not gonna see it because Amazon wants the cut of what you're delivering. They that $5 item that they just sold, they made $40 off of it now. Why does this affect you or me? Why does things going up? A box of Nutty Bars used to be a buck 19 on the package, and now it's 260. Double and a half what it was, and the price stayed a buck 19 for many many years. So now all of a sudden, I guess a jar of peanut butter costs $2.60. What they're sticking into that one box of Nutty Bars, somehow they want you to believe that. But meanwhile, somebody else is collecting food stamps, or and they're collecting 800 a month, and they're eating for free, right? Their whole family's eating for free for the whole month, and they say, no, that's not enough money to live on. Well, what do you spend on food? And hey, what am I spending on food? 60 bucks per week. So what is that? 60, 120, 240, 160 is 320, 340, something like that. I don't know. I'm not good at math, but I do know that, if you're only spending 300 bucks, that's not too bad. And again, where do you got to shop to get those savings? It's not at Walmart. You step in Walmart and you're down 100 real quick within a bag of stuff, and that's all you walk out of there with is about a bag of stuff for 100 bucks. Going to eat, you're dropping 20 every time you go to eat. At Frying Pan or 30, 60. I suppose average bill is about 30 bucks. That's one meal. You go, oh, that's one meal. So now I look at, what do I have to make to be happy, to sustain the life that everyone else has? What do I got to do? What do I got to take? What do I got to ask AI to say, what's the trajectory if I make $19 off of what I'm selling? How many of those do I need to sell to make enough to live off each month, right? What's up, News Now, Tammy? There's a general just consensus of the presidents don't care. Nobody cares what you make. Nobody cares how hard you work. Nobody cares that you're slaving, running yourself into the ground day in, day out, driving, and they want to put these limits on the roads and go, you can only go this fast. You can only, well, I only make this much. So if you're limiting as to, okay, you only want me to go this fast. You only say that I can go this fast, but then you're saying I can only make this much. So you have limited, but for a fact, If I was running a taxi and people, okay, and I run them 60 miles, oh, I'm definitely pocketing $60. Okay, that's a buck a mile, and that is cheap. I'll bet you now it's 2, $3 a mile. It by the time you stick what you want to stick into my car, that should easily be 2, 3, $4 um, off the rip before I even start driving. And that's the way that they have set up the system because they claim insurance and prices and this and that. Dealing with people, uh, but at this point, delivering goods and services is such a horrible paying gig. It's such a horrible paying job. Meanwhile, your what it costs to ship your goods is just astronomical in the sense of gas prices. Um, you know, I guess there's something to be said about what it takes, I guess, to really make it in this world, and to say that I'm not going to lift a finger for no less than a certain amount of money. Or you accept that you're only making a couple bucks and you make your couple bucks stretch, or you just don't spend your money. And then you invest in a business or something that is going to regenerate your money quicker at a faster pace. What am I going to have to sell? What's the product that brings me the money that I want daily, that people are buying, selling? What is the most bought item in America? Uh, do, I hope that this is stuff running through your mind, that you think outside the box and don't just, hey, I need a job. I'm going to go take the first one that I can, and I'm just going to work for $6 an hour or $15 an hour. It's just not going to work, because your 12 hours that you spend at work, you're physically so hard on your body. You're burnt out by the end of the day. You can't do anything with the kids. You can't go spend your money. Uh, it's just not working. It's none of it is working, and here's why. The government has said this is a good deal. Work for us. If you work for a military, you work for army, you work for whatever, hey, you're going to get paid a little bit more. You don't. And you're going to actually have to do more for that money in your morals and values. And you're actually going to have to take, steal, and murder for that money. Now, they don't come right out there and say that to your kid as he's jumping out of school and, hey, let's jump into the military, blah, blah, blah. You can start training. Again, what you have paid is heart issues, brain issues, uh, lung issues that you can't get back and you can't come back from. But do they care? No. Do they stick a little bit of medical into you? Yeah, they will, a little bit, but it isn't going to be the 20, 30, 40, $60,000 that you need to keep yourself healthy. You can't give yourself a new set of lungs. Sorry. It just isn't going to happen. Um, you know, as to what is success, what defines success, and what is a truly happy lifestyle. I guess it really takes a special person to get the happiness out of life and then just leave the money on the side of the road. You're like, well, there's no money, there's no happiness without money. You have to, that's a life you have to want to live. To be broke, poor, hot, no air conditioning, nowhere to live, how come somebody would choose that over a nice place, a nice house, and then making yourself on a treadmill that you have to make X amount of dollars to pay your landlord? Well, this is how it works. This is how you have to do it. No, this is not how it works. How it works is you don't tell me what to do, I tell you what to do. How this works is you don't run my life, I run my life, and if you want to come along for the ride, then fine. But again, if you say, Hey, I don't want to be around this guy. Um, it's a consistent way of living your life that gets results from other people in a positive way. Because when you see them, they smile. They put their fake smile on and they're around you. And so then when you take it a step further, hey, you want to go do this? Hey, you want to go do that? And then they get shy. Now, what are you scared of? Okay, you sit here and you talk to me outside this place, but what are you scared of? Why is it that you just don't want what it is that I have? You want to meet Rico Suave at the Taj Mahal. And trust is not earned. Like what do you call trust? What are you looking for? What are you seeing? And the bottom line is if I say, hey, I'll cook you a meal, I guarantee you're going to be sitting at the dinner plate because you don't have anywhere to eat. You was just going to head down to the homeless shelter to eat. What does this make sense? Who does this make sense to? That you're willing to go down to a homeless shelter, but you ain't willing to come over to the house, grub up some food, you know? And if someone was willing to cook for you, what would you be willing to do? Again, uh, Eric Brandt has been the staple of sitting on the 18th Street Mall in Denver and giving and giving and giving to the homeless. And multiple people come for a walk downtown to go get that bowl of food, that soup, potatoes, carrots, onions, you know? Um, See, again, you should never come on to someone else's channel and tell them what to do. And I'm going to tell you why in here in a little bit. Because when Puget Sound gets in here, I'm going to show you why. There's a certain level of things that it's a respect level, okay? If you don't have it, you ain't going to get it. You're not going to find it. If you don't have God in your life, if you don't know how to conduct your business, you have no place on this platform or with me or anyone else because you don't know how to act. If you act like a fool, you're probably going to get treated like a punk or a fool or an even worse word. And God will bless you and he will show you whatever powers that be. Now, me, I just sit up here and talk. But as far as other people, making you conform to what I like and what I enjoy is what it is. But because you want, okay, I'm going to give you what you want sometimes, okay? Now, here's what you want. God, okay? Now, hear me out on this. God loves you. He cares about you. He brought you into this world, and for sure, he will take you out. You will not get out of this life, okay? You won't get out of it. You can say whatever you want to me at the end of the day. You can use whatever language you think that's going to infuriate me or piss me off or get me off of what I was talking about or make me look. I don't do this for money. So it's not about the money. But the life lesson here is this, that if I cared what you thought, what kind of a person would I be? If I laid down and took it like you with a social security number, what kind of a person would I be if I didn't just take it from you? So here's what I'm going to do for you right now. I'm taking it from you right now. And you're going to enjoy it, every bit of it. God, this Jesus character that we talk about, the guy that held his hands and his feet and they were bound together, driven a stake through, many people that died on the cross, many people that died hanging from a tree, many people that didn't make it to where you made it onto my website, many people that breathed their last breath talking bad about me, many people that traveled 1,000,000 miles to say I know what you are. No, you have no idea what I am. You have no idea what cloth I was cut out of. Okay? You sitting in front of me, and if you, which I know you didn't, watch me bail out a window, you wouldn't have half the audacity, because you haven't done what I've done as a kid. You haven't watched people fall from 16 feet up in the air. And when I say 16 feet, I don't mean a diving board. I mean a hill filled with dirt. You bet a kid to go jump off, and he goes and does it. His ankle, it breaks immediately. Now, I'll tell you, what did one take away from watching him do that? Do you jump out? Do you jump straight down? Do you tuck and roll? Are you risky? Do you take risks as a child? How many times as a child did you, I can have whatever I want. I have you in my room right now. I'm getting clicks and views because you clicked on my video. Understand this. I can have whatever I want in you, in your life. Anything that you have sitting next to you, I can have your computer, I can have your phone, I can have your house tomorrow. I can buy you out of your house. I can take your house and get it on eminent domain. I can take and live in it and be a squatter. I can take and throw poop outside your door all day long. I could walk my dog in front of your door and let it piss on your sidewalk daily. Positive, 100% positive. Now, what kind of person would that make me, right? Well, guess what? Your neighbors don't care. I don't care. And probably Jesus doesn't really care. Now, here's the deal. If I just let Jesus take care of you, he's going to take care of you in this weird way. And all of a sudden, you're going to get sick, and you're going to have a doctor's appointment later today. And you're going to say, man, karma really bit me because of the way I'm talking, acting, speaking. I should just shut my mouth before I pass that judgment on to someone else. And now that judgment's passed on to me. Somebody prayed about it. And now all of a sudden, I can't talk myself out of what I said and what I wrote in black and white. All of a sudden, I'm held accountable for all my actions, but thought I was just hiding behind a computer and nobody could come do nothing to me. But what you didn't see and what you don't know is dreams, power, ultimate, exceeding. Okay, let's talk about this. What is, I'm trying to look for the word. I forgot the word. He is, omnipotent. Okay, does anyone know what that word is? Maybe AI. Google what omnipotent means. Okay, and then tell me what it really is. Oh, I got some coffee in my veins. I got Death Wish in my veins. Look, I'll show you. You don't know what I be drinking. What you know? What you know about Death Wish? You don't know nothing about death. You know? Let's go get another cup. You'd like to think you was stressing me out, but you're not. But I'm going to play your game. I fall for it every time. It's so fun. It's like Jerry Springer and the drama. If the meaner I am to you, you're never going to get it. The more I talk to you about God makes you just want to hurl inside your mouth and leave. And the more I talk about, hey, fucking elementary schools, hey, that's just a fucking trigger for you, Eric Brandt, and everybody else. You can't fuck with what I already have done in life. You can't elevate yourself to figure out what it is that makes me tick. To make a dude crack. You know what I'm saying? You let me watch me crack you. You know, if I can't do it, then Jesus said, hey, leave that guy alone. But if I can do it and I'm permitted to do it and you stepped into it, I'm going to give you every bit of my energy. And this cup of coffee, look, how are you doing today? Can you even afford a bag of coffee? You're probably sitting online so much. Look, I've been on here for what? 20 minutes in my morning. Already had my first job offer. Didn't take it. It won't fit. And I need a bigger vehicle. But All the things that I got wrong in my life can all go down, rent a 1995 U-Haul, and call my day good. Still get my job, still get my work done, still have a truck parked outside all day. When you take life day by day, it's so much better. Look, I have whatever I want, and that's including you, your physical, your personal, and your mental, your human being. Look, I say this, I can help you. I can help you. Who else can say that? Who else can offer their ear to you? Who else will listen to you? Look, this is a StreamYards. I did put the link out as you came in. I put it out right when I started, but I'll put it out again. Hold on. Well, maybe I won't. I think it's this one. Just tell AI to put my StreamYards link out. Why do it anymore? Hey, look. If I had time, enough in a day, what I'm looking at is a bunch of big crosses right now. If I had time, if I could pay attention to you, if I cared what you think, I really don't. The link's not working. Yeah. Hold on. Yes, more coffee. Hey, I'll go to my grave drinking what I want to drink. You go to your grave drinking what you want to drink. Okay? As much as I want, I'll drink what I want to drink. I'll eat what I want to eat, and what I don't want in my system, I won't eat it. Ahi tuna, you want it? I was eating it last night. What you want? You want some wicked tuna? I mean, I bet you do. But if you don't get in the kitchen, you don't cook, you ain't getting it. The riches of your spoils are what you go to the store and get and what you pick for yourself. But you probably just sitting there on the other end of the internet eating an Oreo cookie, let's be honest. Hey, I ain't doing much better. I mean, look at me. A little bit of meat, a little bit of, I mean, you know, a little bit of meat and a little bit of Mike. Don't like it? Nah, I don't care. I don't really care. You want a banana? Okay, let's have a banana. I got big bananas for you, baby. There you go. Enjoy it. Like it. Like it. Choke on that banana for all I care. I don't care. I blow bubbles for 50 cents. I don't care. Cheers. Good coffee. It's a little colder. I should pop it in the microwave. Look. I'm just trying to understand where you're coming from. God has blessed you. In fact, God loves you. Maybe you should have some faith and some love and some hope. You know? Because all your fucking money isn't going to buy you happiness. It's not going to buy you serenity. It won't buy you faith. It won't buy you hope. It won't buy you love. It will not buy you all your riches. Take all your free shit you're pushing on me. I'll give it all back. You can have it all. I'd rather be in prison, broke, chained on a fucking dirt floor. You know what I'm saying? And still preaching the gospel. Still knowing my purpose in life, knowing who loves me. But it surely will not be you. You will not see, for you do not see, you fool. Your eyes, you're blinded. You're blinded. You want a little 5-second comment to say what you want to say, to sound like you're relevant. All right. But see how non-relevant you really are. The joke I make on you. But go ahead and give me your YouTube channel. I'll come over and I'll visit. I'll give you a gift that you just can't get rid of. Jesus. I'll give you Jesus, boy. I'll teach you. I'll teach you how to act. I'll teach you how to act in accordance. Not with YouTube's rules, not with YouTube's laws. You look at Jesus's laws. Figure it out, man. Maybe you moved on with your day by night. You may not even be in the comments anymore. Hey, I'm dumping more coffee in because this stuff's really good. Try it out. Try it out. We got some sugar. We got some creamer. But I didn't do no sugar. I did black. I like it black. It's good that way. Look, I'm really trying. I'm really trying here. Let me not go out on a limb. But if I had time, I'd be willing to bet. This guy's still sitting there. Oh, I can make you drink as much coffee as I want. Yes, yes. I literally manifested you drinking coffee and did it though. Yeah, well, hey, I manifested you saying that I was going to drink coffee and you thinking that there's coffee in this cup. When is there? Or is it just an empty cup? Or do you just think I'm drinking coffee and I'm making you think? See, that's a motherfucker, ain't it? Again, swearing, swearing. Ooh, damn thee. Uh-huh. Look, you're not kidding anyone. I'm not kidding anyone. There might be coffee in this cup. I might be licking my lips, and you might be enjoying me making that sound. I don't know. You probably got to go pee, honestly, you do. But hey, I might just go eat a banana now. Did you manifest that too? Because I think what you're going to be doing is going to take the same poop that I go do, taking the same pee that I go pee, and you're probably going to be unzipping your pants the same way I do. That's just a thought. But hey, look down. Why do you clothe yourself? Why do you feel so ashamed of yourself? Why are you so taken aback by looking in the mirror? Why do you not look in the mirror when you go into the bathroom? Why are you not proud of who you are? And why don't you love yourself? That's the issue. Get to that issue and come back and see me tomorrow and tell me you want what I have. You believe that there is a higher, bigger, better moral values. There's a bigger God out there. There's not being blind like a sheep let off a cliff, because that's what you are. You're dispensable right now. You can't even be used. You can't be harnessed. I can't make no money off of you. You are worse than a ball and chain being drugged by a brick underwater. That's all you'll do is float right to the bottom because you're not even alive right now. For you see, but you do not see, you fool. Why did he speak in parables? Ask yourself. Manifestation, what do you want to manifest? You want to manifest getting on YouTube last night? Is that what you were dreaming about? I know he's going to go live today. Okay. And oh, I'm so glad when you say FTP because it just glorifies what I do. What is right and what is wrong. And why would I do it if I didn't say it wasn't true? And why would I do it if it wasn't what I believed in for 7 years of my life? If I didn't believe in it, I wouldn't have come back. Who comes back from falling out a second story window? Ask yourself that. Who has it better than before he fell out the window? He was eating breakfast before and now he's drinking coffee. He's eating tuna, but he was eating a fucking whatever at this hotel that claims they love you but serves you shit food in a waffle with syrup. Shit that's just going to give you diabetes. Hey, go ahead, eat some more gluten, have fun. I mean, look, we can go round robin for days, but the milk you drinking just as sour as the milk I'm drinking. Maybe that's why you shouldn't be drinking the milk. Maybe the butter you eat that you think is so good for you is not. It's actually just lard. Maybe you're not even eating the good butter. Butter isn't even yellow when it comes out the cow, but they bleach it. So what are you really eating? It's not yellow. I mean, They gotta artificially insert that yellow to make it look appetizing, and but what it really is not what it really is. It's what the FDA wanted you to think it was. But you are not blind. You think you're eating that box of cereal and there's no gluten in it, but there is. Again, for you see, but you do not see. Enjoy the fresh strawberries. Enjoy stuff that comes out of the ground. Grow your own garden. Stop being a bum. You know what I'm saying? Like, grow up. Be a man. Try it once. And then come back and see me. Get on my level and understand where I'm at. And then come join. Be a part of and add to. But if you can't, then just stay on the other side of the river, because you can't even get across the river and you can't split the river, and you'll always be too scared to get on the boat. You'll never accomplish it. You'll never do what I've done, because you can't lift it up. You just can't. You're stuck. If you feel stuck, you're probably stuck. If you're scared, yeah, just manifesting a big old turd. That sounds good. What does FT mean? I don't know. Read the screen. Read right here. What does it say? What does that say? I mean, ask a question. I will tell you. Oh, pride goeth before the fall. No, pride. Okay. Pride, you should just humble yourself. That's all pride means. If you humble yourself a little bit, you'll be all right. Now, prideful that I'm better than you? Well, I'm pretty sure I am. It's pretty prideful to say that. But I'm going to go out on a limb here. Pretty smart. Doesn't matter what you think. There is no pride in speaking the word of Jesus. There's no pride in that. That's just giving him the glory and the praise at the beginning and the end of the day when you wake up. Something that happened before you even got out of bed. Something that happened when you took your first bite of your eggs and bacon and sausage. Again, I can't tell you what it's like to live in the moment, to enjoy what you're eating, everything that you're eating. To have a variety of stuff set in front of you every day that's new and exactly the way you want it, what you want, and how you seen it and manifested it. You want a truck, you'll get a truck. You want a car, you'll get a car. I see piles of people that don't get a car. They don't get a truck, and they don't get love. They don't get no love. They don't get nobody that walks up to them and hugs them in the morning. They don't show no love, no affection. They don't lay on the couch next to you or with you. They don't cuddle. Can you imagine a life like that? I mean, that's why you're on the internet, right? Is you're bored. You don't got nobody laying next to you. Nobody likes you because you got so much pride yourself that you can't even let someone else love you. That's what it really is. Imagine being surrounded by 5 girls all at once, and every one of them loves you, respects you for who and what you are, how you act in your behavior. They want to listen to you. They want you to feed them. They want you to give them grapes. They want you to give them strawberries. They want you to give them the finer things in life. They want to drink what you have. They actually want to be around you, with you, and get just a quarter of the knowledge that you have. They don't want to be depressed no more. And when I tell them what to do, I say, this week, you look better than what you did last week. You don't look depressed no more. You don't look down and out. I said, what'd you change? And she said, things changed. I seen my man. And what else? I quit taking that medication. I said, I told you, If you quit taking that medication, you will feel so much better. You will be yourself. You will come back to life. And I said, look at you this week. You may still be suffering from um, that terrible depression, but you're not slow. You're not thinking about it 10 times more, 10 times slower. You're not lethargic. I said, you got a smile on your face. And she's like, yeah, I'm going back to Michigan. He came and seen me. He loves me. We got back together. That's what I'm talking about. You know, someone can send you away or send you to treatment, but you can still get back together with them. And you can still have a partner to share the rest of your life with. Who made that happen? I don't know. She did. I did. She did herself by opening her heart, by listening. She says, I said, I haven't seen you in 2 weeks. She said, yeah, but I listened to what you said. That's what I'm talking about. You get it. You see it. If you want to change, then you got to be the change that you want. If you want it bad enough. And along with that comes the teachings of, hey, watch out, you might get pregnant. Hey, watch out. You know, you might get stuck doing something you want to do or don't want to do. Be careful, because you bring another life in. They're joyous gifts to God. But if you bring another life in and you think he loves you, just make sure he's going to be there for you. He's going to stick around. And he's going to encourage you when you go back home to where your real home is. You don't want to be stuck in South Dakota. You don't want this life. The violence downtown. Can't go do your laundry. People shooting up the stores. You don't want this. Go back to Michigan. Go back to where things make sense and takes less meds so that you can get through your day without being foggy brained and minded and look like Joe Biden. I mean, look, you don't gotta dope yourself up to get through the day. They say you got to take all these pills and that you're crazy, and your mom told you was crazy when you were a child. You're not crazy. This is not you. These are these meds talking. Even I can see that. You want to go out and be bipolar, that's one thing. God wanted you to have these traits. Otherwise, he wouldn't have given them to you. Some of them. You was born with some of these. Some of these, he didn't want you to drink endlessly. He didn't want you to do drugs endlessly. You know, I hope that you take a little bit of what I'm saying, because what I'm saying is the exact opposite of anonymity. There's no anonymity in getting clean. There is no you can or you can't talk about this. There's recovery, there's hope, and there's joy in every mess up that you've ever had in your entire life. There's a chance to fix what you've broken, what you continue to break with every word that you say. If I say I'm going to do something, I do it. If that cop's standing in the way, he's going down. Okay? There's not, this could happen. No, this will happen. It don't matter, because if it's you or me, it's you. It's you that's going. You can like it, love it, say it, don't say it. You know, hey, this is what he said. This is what he's going to do. This is what he's going to walk into. This is how he's going to carry it out. I don't really care. You don't know what driven is. Driven and driving your own destiny, that's what you're supposed to be doing in life. That's how you get through life. That's how you survive. You're thriving while everyone else is sitting there lethargic on pills that say they're FDA approved, but they not doing nothing for you. They're not keeping you alive. Who's keeping you alive is God, because he wants you to succeed. He wants you to get well. He wants you to get better. He wants you to bring someone else up. He wants you to support your next the next guy right next to you so that you can get on with your life. not having to live in constant fear. If someone lords over you, someone comes in and says, hey, I'm doing that to you. Bro, come do that to my face. You know what I'm saying? I bet you wouldn't do that if somebody was holding something on you, if somebody was going to take your life in the next breath. That would not come out of your mouth. But you're going to say it to me on a chat. But if I held you to account for what you said, if I come back 6 months from now and next thing you know, boom, something happens to you. What do you say to that? Say, I prayed for you. What do you say to someone that says, hey, man, go ahead. God bless you. What do you say to that? I love you, but I got to leave you. I love you better when you're walking away from me. If you was just going to stand there and say something disrespectful to me, better off we not together. Period. Never, ever, ever again. So that first time you disrespect me, be the last time you disrespect me. You won't get a second chance, and you won't get a second chance to come in under an alt name, alt account. You can make up 10 alt accounts. It doesn't matter, because the disrespect's going to only come from you. It isn't going to come from the loyal fans following for the last 7 years. Only from you. You're so easy to spot. It takes no effort out of my day to push a button. I got news for you. It does not hurt me. It is only hurting you. You're hurting yourself with your own disrespectful ways. And you say, yeah, but I'm just hiding behind a name. None of this is going to cost anybody anything. No, it might cost you your life. You might go to prison for the rest of your life because you might get yourself into something that you just can't finish. It may wind up on your doorstep because I run your IP address, I do a reverse search lookup, and next thing you know, I just posted your fucking address to everybody in America. And they know exactly what you are. They know where you are. They got your name. They got your social. They can ruin your life in one click of the button. They can take away your income, your money out of your account. They can strip you of all your wealth. Just that quick. And you want to know who does that better than anyone I know? The government. So if I call somebody and say, hey, this guy over here, he just threatened me, blah, blah, blah. You know what they're going to do? They're going to go flip your switch and they're going to go shut off all your shit. They're going to take you off the internet. They're going to throw you in a cage. You don't get freedoms in America. You think you do. I'm here to tell you, you don't. You get what I give you. You get what you're told. You get what you're susceptible to. You're on that internet line. So by you misusing it, misappropriating it, I can send whatever I want to your internet IP address right now. Then I can go call somebody and say, hey, dude, this dude's got this, this, and this on his computer. You'll go sit 7 years for what I sent to your computer. Promise you that. That's not a joke. You want to talk about people being set up? You want to talk about people not having good lives because someone else did something, because you're in some ring? You want to know how many people I sat with? You want to know how many murderers I sat and had a cup of coffee with? You want to know how many people violent things happened right in front of me? You want to know how many people I said, go fuck that dude up? And you know how many times it happened? 100% of the time. You know why? Because who would not? Who's not gonna, when someone is moral, values? If you talk bad about an old man, you know what you got coming? Swift justice. It's not the old man you got to worry about. It's the man that calls the shots. It's the man that tells the truth. It's the man that says it verbatim, word for word, what happened, when it happened, and what he said. What did you say about that Native American? What comment did you say about him or his father or his family or his extended family or his lineage? What'd you say? You don't like natives? Well, there sure is a lot of them here on this bottom floor. Would you like to say that to their face? But all of a sudden, when they get in that cell and they get rocked, I didn't say that. I didn't say that. No, the fuck you didn't. I'll put that on my life. Put that on my mama. I'll put that on everything I know and love. When I tell you to shut up and stop talking, that's when you'll shut up and stop talking. And it ain't me that carries out the orders. It's those youngins. It's the old schools with the lifers, the charge. They won't stand for your racist, your bigotry, your condescending, your lying. They won't do it. It's going to get dealt with. I wish it wasn't so. Just understand there's consequences, and just know when my dude gets in here, he'll deal with you. You be gone. I'm giving you time. I do this for an hour every day, and we're going on 45 minutes. By an hour, he'll probably be in here, and he'll show up. And the color is blue. That's the magic color you're looking for. So when you see blue, that means you're about to get booted. Just know. If I said it, it was true. If I make a phone call, it's going to happen even quicker. If I jump off here, make a phone call, and then come back live, I guarantee you'll never even get to make another comment. Understand. Power be to who? Who's got the power? Who's got the ultimate power? Who thinks they got the power but doesn't have the power? Prideful? Prideful or just truth? Truth. Downright truth. You see, if I say it happened, it happened. If I say you said it to me or about me, it happened. But once I get your IP address, now that's a whole nother story. The IP address, that goes straight to your house. If you ain't got what do you call it? It's like a Firefox or someplace garden where you're from. Your address, your location. If you're not hiding, if you don't got Tunnel Bear, if you don't have something making it look like you live over in Kentucky when you're actually in South Dakota, you shouldn't even be on the internet. You shouldn't be saying what you're saying, because one click, one right click, and I got your IP address. One right click, whatever photos you've uploaded in conclusion with your YouTube account, I have them. If you uploaded the pictures of a Cowboys hat, then I have it already. Especially if you're in StreamYards, and especially if you jump up. Oh. Well, here, you guys are all welcome. Well, I think I've spoke for 48. This is my story. But here, you're welcome to your story. Come here. Let's get the guests going. We're going to do it right. We're going to get the actual link. Man of many words. Yes. For sure. We must make this an all-inclusive party. Don't say I didn't put it out there. That link should work. Not that I care to the other links. I put a link when I first started this. If you was here in the beginning, then you'd have the link. When a dude says, hey, I'm live, you might want to go in the room, because that's probably the most important stuff you're going to get is at the beginning. Right?
What are you into? Anything?
Nothing. Just living the dream.
I see Will down in the chat down there. What's up?
All right, I'll add you up. Hold on.
Howdy.
What up, brother?
Hey, 5C, what's up, bro?
Not much.
How you doing, FTP, man?
All right, chilling. The daily morning drama of people. I'd like my
I
show
know
to
how
be
to-
my show, but
Hey, man, I'm just sitting there laughing at what you had to say. How easy it is to manipulate people. It is great. It's fun.
it is fun. I can't speak highly enough of people and their behaviors. Shoot, I'm trying to adjust my volume. Sorry. It's just if people understood that their words get them in trouble, they don't even realize it. But when they write something online, when they speak it, when you threaten someone, when you use vague words, it's just about as much as you say as what you don't say. If you knew that the word that you were saying could cost someone 7 years or the rest of their life, hey, someone can set someone up really easily and not even be near you. But say you said something, and just the accusation alone could get you 25 to life. If
Yep.
you're going to speak that upon someone else, that's a horrible thing. So what are we combating against? I don't know. I suppose part of it is that free speech. We might as well just not give anyone the right to speak. And I take away the right in and or if you can't control yourself in the room, then of course. But I do believe in free speech. I believe in a lot of that. But that it seems so fleeting in that everyone wants to be violent, aggressive, and
See, that's a debate I had the other what was it, 2 nights ago, with some guy on a different panel. He was talking about the people defending themselves after someone attacks them for the words that they said. I said, well, you have the First Amendment, but yeah, there might be consequences. But remember, there's always consequences to the consequences as well. So if someone's going to attack me for words I said, that's the consequence I took. But now their consequence that they're going to take is I'm going to fight back and I'm going to end it as quick as I can.
correct.
See,
I'll put you down before you even get started.
I
Right.
believe in free speech, but what I also believe in is you cannot take that freedom of speech and use it in a derogatory way to beat someone else down. That you cannot do in the eyes of that God.
A good
So-
God-fearing person, would understand that.
See, and
Yeah.
I think that we're not, most folks, what I see out here is not, they're all
Well-
talking about that God and how they're Christ-like and everything, but they don't practice what they preach. No harm and to care for one another.
Well, the thing is, it's also the perception. What I'm perceiving as I'm trying to help you by pointing out what you're doing wrong or what I perceive you're doing wrong. They're sitting there saying that's tearing them down and making them look like shit and everything else. And then they want to attack you for it. You see,
Mhm.
there's
Well,
a big factor of perception where I'm thinking I'm trying to do a favor for you. They don't.
Well, I get that, but I think too, though, Will, you may agree on this, possibly, maybe not. I don't know. But
Hey, Ricky G, I ain't seen that name in a while.
I think if we get back to the beginning, the human body was designed to survive, and the man has the will to provide that protection of that survival with that prosperity and abundance. So the responsibility falls upon the individual in how they're guided through life in the directions that they have taken that have stroked their egos for so many years. You see where I go with this, man? So,
Oh, I understand where you're going, but it still all comes back to the perception.
right. So that's why
What
my
you think? What
perception
you
is to
think
stay
is
straight as the gate.
right? Right. What you think is right, I might think is wrong.
Right, and that's
You see
called
what I'm
free
saying?
will. But which one of
Right.
us, which one of those have that divine protection of that higher authority that we all call God? Was the character that them two individuals created, which one of those characters were outside of that image and likeness? I don't give a fuck what you think. I give a damn what you know, because that's the only thing we can
Right.
go forward.
You're right. You're right on
Those that stand still are not going forward. Those that entangle them in a mess, they just stay there in the mud and fight like crabs in a bucket at the bottom.
Mhm.
The other ones walk away or get out of the bucket or act unbecoming, and everyone leaves them alone because
Or
they
they
walk
just
home
never-
with the big stick.
Or they just never get nowhere near the bucket and just keep on going.
They never entered the bucket in the first place because you just didn't take the bait.
Before I
Correct.
forget, FTP, did you, Mommy and Minnie, ever get a hold of you?
Yeah, it's been a while. It's been about a month, 3
Okay.
weeks, I think.
But
yeah,
they
I heard
reached
a-
out to me and said to give you their number, but if they got you, then you're good.
Well, I don't know if I put it in my phone. I think I did, but it's not always hard. Sometimes you get hit up by emails. I don't know. It's okay. It sounds like there's a lot of stuff going on, both sides of stuff and people's lives, but it's so happy to see people and creating new life and continually going forward and living their life. So for me, it's a very beautiful, happy thing to see just how creative people are in adversity. So just because somebody messes up doesn't mean you move on and get rid of them. But again, if they mess up too bad, you got to put them in timeout and assess, hey, you going to keep your shit up or are you going to stop? There's a big, everybody's got problems, so who be it to point out someone else's problems, and especially online. So we keep quiet inside when if we condemned the addiction rather than what it really is, the person is not at fault. The addiction and what has overtaken them. Again, for we see but we don't see, we're fools. So many people are hurt by addiction that it's hard for me not to talk about it anymore, because every block, everywhere I see, there's a pile of people laying there. They really are giving up their life, and they're struggling for their life right now. The most we can do is extend our hand out.
Right, but the sad thing about that, though, man,
They did it
is
to
they
themselves.
all go vote for their own demise.
Yeah.
And they jumped on a bandwagon of money, of Federal Reserve notes that come from where?
New England.
See, I look at it as
A note.
I have found. I told my wife this the other day, buddy, in text. I said I have found no way to fulfill that will and to continue that legacy through the job of another man's ego that benefit a few and leave so many behind. It is as if we've sold our children's futures for the wants of today instead of preparing for their survival of the needs of their tomorrow. Now, it all falls on the individual in the guidance and the direction that you laid down in that path for your family's future. And if we're all incompetent and we're all about negativity and no connectivity, where's there going to be any current that we can see? I mean, somebody was talking on another panel I just come off of a few minutes ago about how all of the LEDs, something about LimeWire or something, how all of these LED lights can connect to one another throughout, I guess, the world. All of the materialistic things, they're connecting together, but dividing each and every one of us and disconnecting us so we don't come together.
People want the discord.
Mhm.
and they don't want to. It seems like most don't want to come together, but what I'm seeing is people act a whole different way in person.
I
So I
think they
find
want
my
the word to mean something. They want some sort of value and aren't bringing any. And they so desperately want to be needed in their own, or wanted, you know what I mean, or just loved in their own hearts because they haven't healed yet from all of this, because they're too busy trying to destroy the other man that they can't even heal themselves.
right, they're broken, or that
Yep.
they doesn't come from a place of love or God, or they're not living right. You know, it's not judgment, but what it is doing what is right consistently.
Yeah. So what I've been seeing out here from my view
Hard to
is
do
all of
sometimes.
the Christians, all of the believers, all the Christians seem to be persecuting the ones that seem to be following that path, being careful not to bring harm upon their fellow man because they're compassionate and they don't want to see anybody struggle.
No, I
See,
don't want
that's
to put
that
that on you.
right. That's a real leader, though. That is a true alchemist, one that does not eat until we all eat.
Eat takes the last, gives away the last piece of what he has so that you have, and gives to
Yep.
the homeless, gives
Now,
to
how many big heads out here sitting on a big stack of money and watching all of those true alchemists that they told were non-essential in 2020, the backbone and the heartbeat and the soul of America? You're non-essential. We no longer need you. We've got all the ignorant son of a bitches on our side in corporate America under a structure of some sort of license, because they're all licensed to do business. But whose business, I'll ask, are they doing?
The
the
government.
federal.
Certainly not God's in that
No,
citizenship. While I'll
Nope.
invite you over here to the church and we'll worship that citizenship.
worship, but at the same time, totally.
War with an A and not an O.
Yeah.
I don't. It's bad, 5 Steve.
Linguistics,
When you
dude.
look at it,
It's real simple. It's real simple. What is the man or woman that's wants to get up here and speak all of this shit and act like they know something? What do you really bring to that God's table that you all so call believe in?
right? It if it isn't speaking to you, if it isn't producing fruits that are free, if it isn't producing things that don't make you sick, what are you producing? If you produce something that just it gets phased out in 10 years, what did you produce? If I sell you a shirt and the shirt lasts one time in the dryer and it shrinks and it's not the right size and it doesn't fit you, then what did I sell you?
But
A
these,
piece of
even
shit.
think of that word sell.
Yeah,
In that
I
book
told
that
you.
all these Christians believe in, God that they say they believe in, says that the land is not for sale. It is mine
Yep.
forever and ever, and you are either a stranger or a sojourner. So that would mean to me, when I look at those words in that text as it is written, I look at that stranger and that soldier as a leader or a follower. Huh? A good person or a bad person? Huh?
Right.
They have something to offer their fellow man or they don't? Huh? Responsibility. We're responsible. God gave us that duty to protect his creation that we all call life and its survival through prosperity and abundance. And we have all failed that.
Miserably, we failed that.
Mm-hmm. There's a guy running around here, Will, saying I sold my kids to a pedo.
Oh, what?
saying I sold my kids to a pedo.
Oh, okay.
Well,
Yeah.
And then but see, they act like they're Christ-like,
right.
Like God has granted him some sort of authority to come down with vengeance through this guy to say, "Hey, 5-speed, I heard this,
You're right.
and what do you have to say about it?" Well, first of all, I don't have to answer to you. I don't. You don't come down here and ask me about what's going on in your imagination, because that's not my creation. That's yours and whoever else was involved with it.
Well, there's something you're missing there in the Bible as well. It does state in the Bible that evil will come into the church and freely walk amongst the people.
Mm-hmm.
And also, those who are closest to God will be the first to be persecuted in the most wrongest and heinous ways.
Well, see, I look at the church now as the temple, and that temple is one's own vessel. That's that creation of life that God gave you the responsibility to protect and protect its survival.
Which is all well and good. I agree.
Yeah.
But remember, it does say evil will walk in amongst the church.
Absolutely.
And
And I look at that. I look at what you're saying there, and I agree with that. So when they walk amongst the church, because the temple is one's own self. So are they walking?
That's why I went on to say.
So who do you let in?
That's why I went on to say the next statement. The ones that are closest to God will be persecuted in the most heinous and undesirable ways.
And we've seen that. Yep. So
and
I agree.
That what you just said, someone said about you. I know where you stand with God. We've had this discussion many times. Me and you have. I know where you stand. Well, that's a disgusting persecution.
Yep. And it's funny you brought that up, Will, because just the other day I told my wife, I said, be careful who you let in your head. They might steal the dreams of your children's tomorrow.
Correct.
Yeah.
So there it is. Walk amongst the church.
It's very easy for what you do to someone else for them to come back and do to you. So when you open yourself up to an attack and you respond back to somebody, then it's very easy for someone else to judge you for the same thing that you just judged somebody else for. And for some reason,
lest you be judged.
Lest ye be judged. It just makes perfect sense. But not if it wouldn't have happened to me, but that's the way it works, is you don't get a free pass from the way you judge other people. That comes to fruition and it plays out in your own life. And it doesn't matter how much money you have. It really doesn't. And once you figure that out, that nice car you're driving in, it's going to break down. You're going to have bad days, and eventually you're going to have to go get help.
Rich man has a better, how to go? A camel has a better chance of going through the eye of a needle than a rich man through the gates of heaven.
Yep, that's it.
That's where in Matthew, I believe it says straight is the gate and narrow is the way. And there's life, and there's that one.
It's narrow. It's but it's a very direct path that you can't deviate.
It's that fine line between karma, those two souls and the eight. That fine line.
Again, honey will come out of the lion after it's slain, but what comes out of on the other end of that, who slayed the lion, could very well be on his demise of pride. He may very well fall to his own ego, thinking that he can slay a lion and not pay for it. Not that he is the ultimate producer. But in fact, who gave you that lion in the first place? Where did that lion come from? And are you showing proper respect as you passed by him and slayed him?
You know,
Who
when I
let
watched
you
that,
slay that lion?
when I watched that video of PETA on PETA from the fur farms in China, I believe that was in like 2012 or something. That led to so much thought in my mind just watching that foul, disgusting excuse of a human being. But then that led to thoughts about all the animals that have been slaughtered to fulfill the feast at all of these smorgasbords across America. And then I realized real quick there's some serious problems in this world. Some serious problems in the world, but my children's futures are at risk.
It's not a fear
Just
thing.
be thrown in the trash at the end of the night.
Oh yeah, it's just thrown in the trash and meat's not eaten, and it's just to look good, put on the airs and pride of how it looks, the presentation, the hoity-toity looks and
The
walks,
illusion
and the illusion
that it
of
was all done for something good.
oh yeah, but because you can have better if you just act like this, if you just do this, if you just pretend that you have it all together and that you have unlimited amounts of money,
Well, think
and you
about
take
this.
from someone else.
Yeah, well, think about this. Nobody wants to go out there and take the life of another animal or something to survive with. But what did they do? Well, you don't have to do that anymore. We'll take that life for you, and we'll just sell it to you for pennies right now. And then 20 years from now, nobody's going to be able to survive on their own.
So what did they take from you?
Your mindset. See, they fed off of the feelings and emotions of individuals to fill up their plates that they all call stock, and they take it to the market and sell you.
Yeah.
In the long run, it's called they take everything.
It's disgusting, bro. I don't know how I see it, but I see it, and I'm thankful for it.
Unless you start doing what FTP said, start providing for yourself like you're supposed to do.
Well, we're also to be servant to others.
We are there to serve others. We are servants of others. I am a servant to you, 5-Speed. I do not look at myself as better than you. I do not look at you as better than me. I merely am here to put you on, to let you say what you need to say, to fulfill your prophecy of how you see it, so that you can add to my show, but for no gain, no political, no money, no financial. You've never made any money being on my show. I've never sent you a check in the mail. And when I say, okay, so
I've gained all kinds of wealth by being on your show. It's helped me. All of these conversations have helped me clarify things. So
But on that same, hold on, I want to go back to what
ain't the wealth of today.
I want to go back to what we just said a second ago. You want to go with the Bible again, right? It says when you are to the point you're making an abundance, then you can help others. And then you're capable of stepping up and doing what he said to do, and that's help others. But until you're making that abundance, you can't do it.
Right.
You can't do it.
Right.
You'll never be able to do it.
Never will. But see, what they've created, though, Will, is for guys that have now figured that out They've made it very difficult for us to survive right now. They've cut the finances from us. They told you were non-essential in 2020. So now you're back to those survival instincts of trying to live off of the land, and they don't want that. So that's why we're persecuted so bad, as you were saying earlier, because they don't want us to survive.
They don't want us to spread our message and realize that there's another way. There's another way to live. There's another way to not hurt your fellow human beings and take unnecessary scraps off the table or put on the table in the first place. If you don't partake in that, you're not part of that, and that takes away from the building of this empire. Let's be honest. When you invest in your own house, but someone else kicks you out of it and steals it for their own gain, ill-begotten gains, what happened there? Well, it was a bait and switch. You can own your own house if you just pay $250,000. You pay the $250,000, but then they say, well, you lost it because of taxes, a mere $2,500 a year in taxes, and because you didn't pay that 1 year, you're going to give your house back.
Well, check it out, though. Look at the realtors, right? The realtor, T-O-R, right? O-R means on record. That's a financial instrument. That's money. That's wealth. Now, look at all of those realtors. And you look at all of the carpenters and the builders back in the 60s and the 50s, these houses. But the realtor, once the state takes it to the estate and all of that stuff and paying your taxes and all of that, how many times over is that house sold? And these people make all of this money on someone else's creation. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. See, God created life and designed that creation of life to survive with the man's responsibility to provide the protection of that survival. And we have, in design, is de-signed, right? But it seems we have signed that protection over to someone else called government.
That safety, that security, what you're giving up, I believe.
So you gave up your will to another man to provide the protection that God granted you.
That God freely grants you. How did you let that happen? How are you, for you see, but you do not see, you fool. So step outside your comfort zone, do something that feels very uncomfortable, and just maybe you'll gain everything back.
So
and
see who all these people are still working in corporate America? Because that's one thing my wife said to me. Home improvement. First of all, she said, well, they only shut you down for 2 weeks. That's bullshit. It was like 9 months. And then she goes to say, well, home improvements were up 700%. Come on. Up 700% for corporate America to profit like a motherfucker off of. I'm not helping you, because that book also says don't yoke with those types of evil motherfuckers.
Don't participate.
That's
don't
right.
talk
See,
to them.
They make it hard for a man, though. No finances. The finances of the day is the fish of yesterday. Teach a man to fish, and he can provide for his family for a lifetime. So you take finances of the fish away from the man, you're fucked.
Now, who are you as a man at that point if you take away a man's right to fish? What kind of a man are you? And then you sit behind a counter and you try and sell a fish license to people for money when you know that it's God provided. Clearly, it is not governed and cannot be governed, and you try to govern it.
Well, just imagine we're all balls of energy. That's what life is. Energy, right? Energy doesn't die. It can only be transferred, signing, transferred,
Conveyed.
or transformed. Go yoking with a bunch of people and we transform all of our energy into the focus of tomorrow and not yesterday.
All I know is I don't have any employees. I don't tell anyone what to do every day. When I get on here, I try not to do that.
Yeah.
People make it difficult, but
I think
overall,
most people is just trying to survive out here right now.
well, yeah, they're mad. They're pissed off. They want someone to blame for the fact that they feel the way they feel, or their kids go to school. And I'm sorry that happened to your kid. I'm sorry that you live in a state where 30,000 people are doing bad things to each other to get ahead and get money. The trade. You say it best, 5-Speed. Look at what they've done. DSS. Look at the trafficking that you're seeing. It's at an unprecedented level, and it continues to be every day.
Well, that's the crazy thing, though. We allowed that. You, me, Will,
Yes.
every one of us allowed that.
We allowed people to come in and take our kids. I can't say that I didn't.
And then when the strong one steps up and says, fuck no, you ain't taking my kids. That just don't seem right in that book to me, buddy. In my whole upbringing. And then you come to find out, and then when you start spitting truth, they just want to walk and persecute you and every fucking thing else. But I'll remind everybody.
I hate to tell you, I fight DHS.
Justifiable homicide is still on the books, is not a crime, and I wonder why. Because God created that life to be able to survive, and I have all the protection in the world to make sure that happens.
3.
5-Speed. You stepped into a realm that you didn't want to with me. I fight DHS every day. I'm on the phone fighting with them and everything else, and trying to and go against everything they can. I'm fighting the best I can to the best of my ability.
Right, but the ignorance of yesterday provided what's going on today. So realistically, we are all to blame. We have all fell short of the grace of God.
I've been fighting the Division of Family Services since I was 6 years old, when they tried to steal me from my mama.
I get it.
So that
It hurts.
don't say I ain't fighting it.
I didn't say I gave something away. I said we're all responsible.
Don't say I give something away to them, because I've actually taken from them.
Sometimes
I've gotten freaking funding to them cut.
They will spend ungodly amounts of money to protect what they see as right. Their empire, their money-making empire.
Now that's why New York's called the Empire State.
Well, here's one that I'll tell you, one that I've been working on right now, because DHS knows where they're at. The Division of Family Services, DFS. Excuse me, I said DHS. Probably DHS as well. They know where them 485 missing children went from Lahaina.
Yeah, it's all the same game, just a different name on the DHS, the DFS, and all that bullshit.
Right. That's what I'm saying. They're all government entities. They're all the government super agency, and they're all interlinked, and they know what's going on with each other.
Yeah. But does it happen to them? Does it happen to their kids? Does it happen at the level of?
Oh, if it happens to one of their kids, it becomes international news, and they find the kid within 3 or 4 days, and it's always a lie.
Because it's always a story that's bullshit.
Yeah.
To play off of the feelings and emotions of others. They can come in Put all
They
that fear in your
justified it.
head and sign here.
They went so far as to justify it and say that you're angry. You have no right to be angry. You have no right to say anything about this in court. You don't have a right to go to court. You don't have a right to stand up in court. You don't have whatever you're saying, we're not listening to. We have a right to put you in a room with a camera and not even let you out. We have a right to put you in segregation so that you can't access a lawyer, so that you can't access a human being. And then we also have the right to send you to prison for a year. And we don't have to tell you what we're doing.
What
You
would
know
you
what
They
do,
can
the
do
right?
that to you. They can do that to any kid. They don't have to tell you what they're doing, not even in black and white. There is no on the record. There is no official record. There is no by the record. There is no morals, values to this entire country.
Because it's all administrative.
By the way,
Military.
to go with what you just said there at the police, I sat there when I first started going after DFS about them kids missing from Lahaina. The first words out of their mouths for the first almost week of that, I don't know why you're so mad about this. They ain't your kids, and we're doing the best we can do.
Sorry.
And we're doing
That's
the
what
best
I
we
was
can
told.
do.
Sorry sack of shit right there.
Yep, that's a
Well,
sorry.
it wasn't
shit.
just one.
Now you're still worried about one of God's
It was
creations.
several of them in the DFF. Several that told me that.
Well, think about it.
They don't come out of their office until they get a phone call. What preventative care is
Do you know
that?
that 65% of DFS personnel don't even have children of their own?
No, because they're 20-year-olds. They come out of school, they get their degree, and they go into social work, and that's their qualifications. They've never held a kid a day. They don't have no sisters. They don't have no brothers. They don't care about the sanctity of life. These people are just,
Well,
I
what
mean,
does
but
it say? Well, what does this say, FTP and Will, for the family members, the clan behind the individual getting his children stolen, that did not stand up for their own kind and protect their own lineage? Again, it falls on the individuals and their families and what their families taught them about this survival.
well,
Believe me, the natives over there that are missing children, they're fighting their ass off right now to get their children back.
In the beginning, I'm talking about how it got to this, Will.
Oh,
The court is
well,
called courting. You know, we go out and court a girl. So what do we go court a girl for? Obviously, so what are you going in this court for? Getting you to side with whatever side's going on in their fucking heads with that black rope. And
damn, you robotic mad, yes, man.
to be honest with you, it kind of sounds like it's okay, because at the end of the day, everybody just gives up. And it kind of sounds like it's okay to give your kids up. And it kind of sounds like another form of using them as abortion. And so whether you have kids and then you can't take care of them, you just give them up at will.
See, here's where I come in. Obviously that's what they've got everybody worried about, the kids, right? It's on this particular scenario here.
That's just a fear thing that they're putting in your head.
Right. So, but see,
These
nobody
kids
really thinks about the person, the girl, the woman that had to make that crucial choice to give that child up. Nobody thinks about that.
What
Or
about the
where
ones
they
that
go
didn't
or
have a
become.
choice?
Why would they ever feel the need that and why they ever felt the need that they had to give their child up?
Because of some Planned Parenthood somewhere in some.
Again, directions, and they can't think for themselves. But of course, it's hard to think for yourself when they've got all these barriers in front of you and nobody willing to stand up and open their motherfucking mouths for someone else.
Right.
Well, I'll tell you, it's hard to stand up for people that don't want to be stood up for. So
You're right there too.
for sure, I walked away from people that just could care less about me. Because if you don't care whether I'm in a cage or not, and you don't care how I'm eating, why would I care about how you're eating? So the problem here is not, that in my case, not necessarily the institution, but that you're not on my side no more. So at that point, I wash my hands of it and walk away. And there's somebody else that needs to be taken care of. You apparently can take care of yourself, or think that you can, in whatever capacity, because these people made you sign a piece of paper that said you couldn't take care of yourself. So you had to go to court, give up all your rights to the state, go into this place that made you feel safe for 3 weeks out of your fucking life. But at what point do you not wake the fuck up and see that someone did for you for 19 years? You fucking took money for 19 fucking years. That person provided you with love, kind, caring, got you to where you were self-sufficient, cars, driving.
Nowadays, some of them are as old as 30 and 40 years old before they aren't doing that.
Yeah, and some, I mean, and the extreme anxiety, the extreme weight of what do you suffer from in a day? What makes you cut yourself? What makes you hurt yourself? What makes you, as a child, as a person that can't even fend for themselves? And then what makes a judge go, here, let me get in the middle of this and I'll make some money off this deal?
A third party intermeddler creating the advantage, the disadvantage
of one
so they
party.
can take advantage of it.
Yep. Just because one is in need of some help. But you're going to pad your pockets along the way and make sure you don't give any support to the person that actually needs the help. But the people claiming that they're victims, and they don't even get the help. You pocket the money.
Right. The real money goes
To the state.
someone in the government's pocket.
You know, the thing that baffles me the most is even when you say it, that you found no way out here to fulfill that will and pass that legacy on through a man's ego of a job, in that citizenship, directing that survival of life. It just disgusts me that all these Christians that say they believe can't see the wrong in all of that. That the ship is not protecting that creation. They're protecting their own. And they've created that war on us.
Their own people. Effectively, their own neighbor. They take people out of their own city, hang them out to dry for the public to watch, post them on the news, make fun of them in their addiction, the lowest point of their life. And this is a news story is what they call it. And this is somehow okay with people. That's okay that you've demonized your fellow Americans, your fellow patriots, your fellow people that have picked up America and work super hard day in and day out. And then you take away their kids, you throw them in prison, you throw them in jail, and they're left fatherless. And then you ship their kids off to the highest bidder.
Mm-hmm.
And you do not see a problem with it.
And you teach them to find a rich man so
they can live off that rich man. Wow. That's, yes, 5-speed. That is fire.
I mean, it's just disgusting.
How could you do that?
You know what's even
you drive my kids into someone else's arms when they were totally normal with me.
And what's even sadder with that statement there's 5-speed is that only 0.001% will ever find that rich man.
Right.
So now the rest of them are out there hung out there to dry and still don't know what to do.
My kid has to go hang out.
Here's the bad thing.
Hold on. My kid has to go hang out with other ethnicities to be included now. Their own ethnicity is not good enough, does not provide the love that she needs. So where does one go to find love? An opposite ethnicity, because that's the only person that will take you in. You are then a reject, considered a bastard child. You have no father. So at that point, how far in life are you going to go till you figure it out? You lost the one thing you had that made your life
What is that number one thing?
acceptable.
What is that
Accept-
number one thing?
Well,
Love.
the
love.
love of God and
Well, I
the
mean, that
acceptance.
bastard child, that's what he lost. No one loved him.
No one loved him. No,
That's what he
they
lost.
got
The love.
you lost the love by and it doesn't matter by the courts. It doesn't matter by acceptance, by walking out of the house, by choosing to leave. What you chose to do was make your lineage irrelevant. You're no longer going to succeed. You're going to fail at every turn, and you're going to have no strength in your life. You're going to seem like you do because somebody puts you to work, puts you on the payroll, and they send you a check every month. So essentially they're taking care of you. Your father's not, your mother is not, and then they use you. And they use you way worse than what your father, what your mother, what the courts. I mean, the courts are going to use you too. Let's be honest. They're going to use you every time you get a headlight ticket, stop sign ticket, and they're going to use you when you go register your car. They're going to use you when you get married. They're going to use you for money, essentially, just for that piece of paper, of course, that you so desperately want to say that you're legitimate and you're married and you're going to go out and do great things in life. They're going to promote you. But in all reality, you're going to work and work and work till your tail is, when you could have had free money. You could have accepted your father for who he was. You could have accepted your mother for who he was and their thoughts and their beliefs and what they stand on. And again, when you give that up, you give more than what you think up. You just sold yourself to that court system that now has you on paper saying, I do want this, or I don't want this, or this was done to me. You now became a victim. And now you belong. You're just a number. You belong to the system. And the system tells you now what you need to be taking for meds, how you need to wake up, what time you need to go to bed, where you're going to stay, where you're going to live. You're going to be on housing. You're never getting off of food stamps. You're going to be getting the same $800 a month for the rest of your life.
You know, I got a friend of mine.
You're enslaved when you could be making millions. Mm-hmm. But you enslaved yourself and held yourself to that standard because Sioux Falls won't let you go. They don't want to admit that we have you in our jurisdiction. We got you in our court system, and now we got your kids and your lineage, and now we're going to extinct you. You can no longer have kids. You can no longer procreate. And even if you do, we'll get you at the hospitals. Even if you do, we'll get you at the Alpha Center. Even if you do, your kids will never make it to anything successful other than an alcoholic, drug addicted, laying on their back. And that's all they'll ever be in Sioux Falls. Because
I think most of this extends from the generational curses of that family lineage. Because there's always a head, right? The head of the house.
Yep.
Well, that book also says that God lies in the head. So, you know, we look at that, and then all these people will get to come out here, and the sad thing about it is they get some kind of voice in the direction of moving forward. That's to me, that's crazier now shit.
Yep, I agree.
That's crazier than our shit, because I can already deem every one of them incompetent in one sentence alone. What's the direction of this job on this citizenship here? What's the direction we're headed, and whose interest is it in? Mm-hmm. Fuck it, that's a hard question to get around. I don't give a goddamn who you are.
Yep.
You want to be responsible and accountable. You know, I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it. I never get it. I do believe it's a generational curse of families, and I believe that the book all talks about the bloodlines, right?
Yep.
How did they extend, and where did they break off to, and who's who in all of this?
Mm-hmm. Yep, you're right. It does.
Yeah, it's really like how dare someone talk to someone like that? You know, when you're sitting in court and the attorney talks to a client, how dare you speak down to a client like that when you take our money, when you take our freedom? How dare you even try and have a conversation with a peon like me? And why? Because the head is what it's supposed to be. Who I am, I don't conversate with people like you. You are in government. I am not. So I don't supersede.
Is that head settled in peace? That settler would be?
If it's in peace, it says nothing because it's going to be let go regardless.
I think peace is where we all gotta. That's what I think. That's well. I don't want to say this. I think the most important part for people of the
violence
world
is with the guns.
right now.
Violence is with the guns. Violence is when you're forcibly taking someone against their will. That's violence. When you kidnap someone and then claim it a word, immunity, and that you're not held by the same standards as we are because
so
we're poor
you have
people.
a license then to do something outside of what God said. I call bullshit on that. Who signed that fucking paper? Who signed that fucking
Not
paper?
God.
Who signed that? When I asked her who signed that,
it was the right hand of the man.
That's what pissed me off. When she said, because I said, who signed that warrant? She could not answer the question. I said, I got you.
Because they're waiting for you to sign it.
That's where I got you. And I said, I own you. I own you. You just don't know it yet. But forever you're indebted to me because of what you did to me. Meaning anything that happens after this, I now hold you accountable, responsible. I'll take responsibility for my actions, what came out of my mouth. But I also am going to hold you responsible.
Well, see, again, the more we have talks about this, because I've kind of been in hermit mode for a couple months now. I ain't been too much on the internet. But that's why I think it's so important to have these types of conversations, because it brings so much clarity in people. We can build upon that. And for me, at my stage of the game, it's hard for me to watch all of this evil go on in the world. It will almost drive a man crazy.
Well, it ain't
to know that each and every one of us have a role here, and we can stop all of this shit tomorrow. But everybody's scared that their communities are going to go down. Why? Because they done fucked over each other. They're fighting with their own fucking community members and everything else the political arena. So
hold on, 5-speed. No, it ain't that they're worried about their community. The people that are sitting there that want to say something, the biggest thing they're afraid of is what will happen to them.
Right, so they're depending on their survival.
It don't mean nothing about their community. They can care less about their community.
All right, hold on. I'll explain myself. So what I mean by they're worried about in their communities or what they're because no one's coming together. How is that individual going to survive if they already know, okay, well, my community's in disarray. None of us agree on any fucking thing in this political arena. So what's the alternative? To sit back and let daddy government guide us and direct us and protect us. It's the only option you have.
No, the only option you do have, that's the actual true option, is to step up. And then it may take 2 or 3 generations of people stepping up and doing the right thing.
Well, I think this was the end of
guess
it right
what?
here.
And you might have to have repercussions happen to you so your next generation can step up and do the right thing again. And
Well,
you got
that
to set your
citizenship-
mind to that.
We're going to take that
And until that
citizenship-
starts happening, nothing's going to get done.
Well, right. So I think the first thing that needs to be happening is turn that citizenship around and put those citizens of the United States that we call government back to fucking work in the goddamn fields.
The government is not considered citizenship. That is a corporation.
Well, how
And the
can
people that run it
let me
are
ask you this.
considered members of that corporation, not citizenship.
Okay, let me ask you this then. In the American Bar Association states that the United States has no birth registry. So what's a citizenship?
Let me ask you this. What is the state bar set up for? What's the main purpose of the bar association? 5-speed?
The main deal? To twist words through linguistics and take from one and give to another. A torn one to give it to the other.
Now, can I
It's
go
not-
even further than that for you? You want to delve deep into that subject?
British
The
accreditation
Bar
registry.
Association is not anything to do with the United States. It's only for profit for Britain. Period. End of statement.
Well, your head's considered a crown too, right?
No. Britain is what rules the frickin' it has nothing to do with the crown. It has everything to do with Britain controls the bars. Nothing in the United States controls the bars.
But I thought God gave man that responsibility.
Yeah, but yet they try to take that responsibility from you from court and demand that you have someone with a bar card to defend you if you want to go defend yourself in court.
And then that attorney wants to represent because the presentment of the character can't be known.
They're not there for us.
They know it was all wrong.
Absolutely not. They're there for Britain, England, Britain.
After court,
That's it.
my
Report.
lawyer never called me once. Hey,
Ah,
you want to
you
get your
want-
kids
you
back?
wanted the
Hey, you
money.
want to try and get your kids back? Did nothing for me. I'm still sitting here without my kids.
Yep.
If you want something, you got to get it for yourself. So,
You want your
You
kids
know,
back?
That's it.
I didn't know you had to fight to get them back. Is that what you got going on?
oh yeah,
Well, you got my number.
and it's not
call
what
me.
I'm going on. I'm not fighting. There's no point in
Right.
fighting.
Right. There is no fight.
Mm-mm.
Peace. Through word. In the beginning was word, and the word was with God, and the word was of God. What's all this writing?
You can write whatever you want. I ain't got no say. I already did my job.
Hey, Puget Sound, guess what? I am working on that one too. Talking about the bar. You got to join them to beat them.
Puget Sound, I'm out there all the time, buddy. I'm on the phone out here. I do everything I can possibly do.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat as 5-speed.
Just because a man looks like he's lost out here doesn't mean he's lost. All the on takers may be a little lost and just don't know it yet.
My favorite saying is, I ain't never been lost. I've been confused a couple of times, but I ain't never been lost.
Me, I don't think I have either, really, because I've always had faith in my heart. So
If I knew what I was doing, which I do, if I know which direction I'm going, I know. And if I know it's going to happen, it's going to happen. It's just time. Wearing the other opponent down. War is, it's just a calculated game of chess.
I don't know how much you want to talk about this on here, but Who has them? Ex or state?
Well, ex-wife, yeah.
Okay. Okay. I mean, we
I don't,
might be able to
my
do
life's
something. You call me.
an open book. I mean, this was all part of the deal when I started YouTube.
You seem more humbled
Was
and more at peace now than you did before this incident. So that to me is a positive thing. There seems to be some growth
yeah,
there.
clarity.
Some stability.
Stability and knowing.
Settledness. So I think you might be prepared to go get them. Possibly.
Well, of course. Well, you can't. Yeah, you can't win if you don't know what you're up against. You can't win if you haven't got a good head on your shoulders.
Remember what that attorney's doing in there. He's representing you because you can't present yourself.
Right. But, I mean, and so effectively, what I spend my time doing is when I talk to other people, well, how did you go about doing this? A lot of them do say, I went back through this avenue. Do I listen to it? Yes and no, because a lot of it is they took an action and now the reaction is all that matters. Being on the right side of the next thing that is done. Because if they did one wrong, that doesn't mean that I'm going to turn around and do another wrong. But I am going to make you choke on your words, and you will be held accountable to the full extent, not of the law, but of God's law. Meaning, what I wish upon you and what I bring to Sioux Falls will be a whole nother level by the time it is. So what you see now and what you see in your streets and the blood that is shed every day, I welcome everybody to the state and the city of Sioux Falls, South Dakota. This is the place where you come and raise your kids. This is the place where you will live and where you will give your life. This is the place where you will love and be not loved. You will love this place until this place rejects you. I welcome you from anywhere that's flooded out. I welcome you from the state of Mexico, Tijuana, over the border, New Mexico. You are welcome. Sioux Falls is a bright, shining ray of hope for all those illegal that are looking for asylum, that are I ensure your greatness here. You are my friend. You are my ally. I look at you as I would give the clothes off my back. So if there's ever something that you need as a child coming over the border, as well as a family, as well as you need shelter, by the time you make it to the cold winters, you are always welcome in my humble abode. Whatever I am in, a one bedroom, if you got a packed 8, 10, I've got room. I've got hallways. I extend my vehicle, my car. I extend whatever I'm eating, you're eating. My fridge is not closed to you. It does not say, no, we cannot go get that, do that. There are no boundaries. There is living good. There's living respectfully, honorably. You may have to do some things. There may be some strings attached at the end of the day that you're going to have to maybe get some morals and values of what is right and what is wrong in this city, that things do need to be changed, that going forward, the upheaval of what goes on at City Hall and the upheaval of what is taking place in the police department must be combated. That to love, we're going to have to get a few of these people out that are showing unlove to people off the streets. and in a quick fashion to make sure that we get our families back and that honor is restored, that respect is restored, not only with our family, but with their family, and that travel is okay outside the borders, inside the borders, and amongst the borders, and that you're respected in the state of South Dakota. We actually want you to come to the state of South Dakota. You're breeding life where they will not allow us to take care of our life. So if you breathe new life and you go to work and you take these jobs, this is an acceptable thing, because this means if you get into being a police officer, there could be very good change. We could end up looking like New Mexico, which would be a great thing to me and my family, because me and my family could then move. If borders weren't there, we could move wherever we wanted to move. So to tear down the borders is the next great essential thing to show love, because walls are not showing love. Prisons and bars and bricks are not showing love. That's showing hate. You can say whatever you want at the end of the day, that you trying to get law and order, this and that. No, you're taking people's kids and you don't want to pay the price. And it's time that when you start speaking about Trump, when you start speaking about Biden, that things should escalate very quickly to any and all who are talking about, what about the people that don't have anything? What about the kids that don't have anything and you don't even provide them water? What about the love you never showed them at the border? How are they going to come into this community and act and behave? Are they going to come and do their laundry at your laundromat? Or are they just going to do their laundry in the sink with water? Are they going to bring their ways of life and not use your toilets in your facilities? How is someone going? How do you want them to assimilate? Because if
there was only one way, though,
through love, through kindness,
so that one way is the survival of that life that God created.
So come over here.
What I told
the
my
survival.
wife,
come survive over here, but take over what we have lacked, have not been able to do, have pushed over to so many years, that we now welcome you so that you can enjoy our life that we are giving up to you. Again, ashes to ashes and dust to dust. We wish you well. We wish you the best, and we wish you the most. And we actually don't want to fight and quarrel amongst each other in our neighborhoods. We would rather have you being a hard worker, but also standing up for your rights, which means
working for that survival of life, I might add, so it doesn't get distracted.
Grab them.
Everybody will say, well, I got a right to go and do that, but no. You have a right to work for the same cause as everybody else to fulfill that will and legacy.
You don't have the right to over in on someone else's money. You don't have the right to take from someone else what is not yours. It's not necessarily a stealing of the stores or anything else, but it is, yes, it's a right to life, but to know that you can come over here and survive. And in South Dakota, there's so much free stuff. These police, they give freely. They're giving away their life, their freedom. They lay it down in the middle of the street. They lay down and take it like doormats. You're seeing it. The red state that doesn't produce for itself, that doesn't produce for its family, it needs a good structure and system. And who I think can do it better are the immigrants. I think the people that work the hardest are definitely going to win over the majority, the popularity, and hopefully one day we have a Mexican president, and that we can fly their flag.
The presidents of that corporation called the United States. It's not the people. That's that citizenship.
That's not the people. Yeah. You don't want the. I don't want them to go get citizenship per se. They have citizenship under God's law. So for me, I accept them under God's pretenses. All this other crap, just come here, establish your residency, dwell, be a squatter, just
That's
find
what
an
I
empty
told my
house.
wife. I wonder if all the Christians, if they would just silence for one day and let everything out of their head, I wonder if they would hear the cries from all of those children for the last 30 or 40 years. What do you think?
Yeah,
No, because they're not even listening.
they're not
They
listening.
don't give a fuck. They only care about themselves. Those
You
types of people.
you've got to get those border protection agency people off that front line. You got to get that wall torn down, and you got to continue building America. And it's not about securing your borders. It's the exact opposite of what you thought it was. All you're doing is imprisoning yourself, your own people. I am a slave at this point, and I would love for another country, any one of them, to come on over and show me how it's done. Because if you're able to infiltrate my wall, that would mean that I would be able to infiltrate your wall and head over there. That makes me very happy. So if you tell me where you crossed at and that I can cross where you crossed at, follow your tracks, but in reverse, then I know that I can get to freedom. But here, I can do nothing because my own people have turned on me. So it depends on if they feel the same way that their people turned on them. And that's why they're leaving their country. Because nobody wants to piss in a hole and then drink out of the same hole. Fresh water is good. And again, if you don't want your family to drink fresh water, come to Sioux Falls. There is plenty of piss water right here.
Will says
You
he's
will-
backstage.
You'll bring your family and
That damn fucking internet decided to cut out on me
right.
when I started talking about the bar. That's stuff they don't want people to know.
It just doesn't work
High rate
anymore.
in the United States.
And if you're in the basement, we certainly don't want you staying in the basement.
Well, I don't
You
want
know.
to be in your basement. It stinks down there. You fart too much.
Right. You're very smelly in the basement.
So
Look.
do you and your significant other, do you guys have any conversation on any of this issues?
No,
No.
she doesn't even know what I do. I go
And you
online
know-
and make a little bit of money and take her out to eat. And
And by the way, at the
Well, I
place,
mean, the ex.
I wanted to say something real quick. And
I don't know where she's at. I don't know what she's doing. I don't show any. I don't try and I guess show anything because there's no communication towards me. So I just,
think so.
there's no point in, you can't carry a conversation with someone that doesn't want to conversate. So the courts have already conversated for her, and the lawyers already conversated for her, and the judge has already conversated for her and on her behalf. And so I assume that that's the way they want to leave it. So till someone passes, there's nothing I can do. You know, God's got me. And I hope the same for her, that's if she even believed in God to begin with, which I don't truly think she did. So there's a
By the
level.
way, at the police, you were talking about something earlier. where you said, do these people feel like their society is turned on them, and that's why they're coming here? Like you feel society is turned on you. They say 75% of the people that are coming are people that that are out of jail or things like that. So yes, their society turned their back on them, just like they did you.
Yeah. Your own people turn on you, and you got to go find a life elsewhere. And I tell you, you're welcome in South Dakota anytime. We have lots of room, lots of space. People that are willing to build you houses and work very hard for you and be slaves for you. And I know that just buying and flipping cars and selling cars will provide you a very good life in the state of South
They
Dakota.
do that a lot.
See,
Too, man.
but see, here's my
If
problem.
you watch I-40 out here, you'll see convoys. I mean, literally convoys, hundreds of cars heading towards Mexico.
See, I look at this is my problem with all of this, and I know you're coming from good intentions, so don't take me wrong, Mark. So the buying and selling. What's God say about that? He said, "Don't be selling his children." See, money is the fish of back in the day. It's used as a tool today to control.
Yeah. So if I get a family and take their money that they get from the government and I put it in my pocket and give them a place to live,
The way I
then
see it, it's all blood money.
it's going to get very bloody very quickly. It's not good. 5-speed. None of this is positive. And when you say you're
How much
speaking
money?
positive,
How much money was made off of the backs of children alone before they squandered all of the wealth of the man and the wife through the divorce to destroy the man? Now they ain't got no money left. We're going to take your kids. But they were making much more off of the kids than they stole from the mother and the fathers.
Correct.
It's sick.
they're making when they go to work, they're making all that tax money now for the rest of their life.
Whose good
off of
works are
them.
they doing? And all these
Again,
Christians, they see it.
They're not waking up. They're letting, and
Because
they
the ego's
think
the
the
devil.
worst. The money
The
equals
ego.
the devil.
Well, it's the ego.
Ego, yeah. That they think they're
Easing
better than
God
someone
out.
else.
Easing God out of their business decisions. They know better for mankind than what God said.
Yeah, they think
Yep.
they know better than God. They want to play God in someone
Yeah.
else's life and take their money, take their
Mhm.
kids, take their wife. It's one thing if someone decides, okay, 5-speed, if someone decides I don't want to be with you no more, that's okay. If someone decides they're unsafe, that's okay. That's totally okay. But how long are you going
Might
to
not
claim
be in
that
the
you're
eyes of God,
unsafe
but it ain't
for?
that I'm not God. So see what I mean? I don't even think that two women coming or two women.
Oh,
People.
whoa. That was good.
We
We're
just
getting
got
in a hot
derailed.
topic now. Where are these two women that are going to get on stage?
I think when two people come together in that wedlock, I believe you hold an obligation to the Most High. But if they can't do it, then they just can't do it. But I still think that you created something in a false reality that you're now wanting to run from. So everybody, no one wants to really be accountable for their own actions. You know what I mean?
Yep.
They're looking for ways to get around what they already know is the truth. They just got to keep going back and getting that guidance from the Most High instead of what you hold over here, what you heard over there, back here, up there, what he said, what she said, what they said, what you said.
Yeah,
That's what I want to know. Who are you?
Yeah, who are you? If you bow down and you pray, and I see you bowing down and praying, I might take you seriously. If you pray and you end your conversation with amen, and you fold your hands and you're humble, I may listen to you. Whether you're black, white, Puerto Rican, Asian, I will respect you because I see your hands in the praying manner, the praying to the Lord, looking up at the sky.
See, I look at the story of Jesus in the Bible, in that whole crucifixion, and I take that to and look at it in the eyes of an individual, and that mindset of controlling the mind, the heart, and the soul, and they are in connection with each other and settled, right? That ego is the death of all of us. To think that our words are of higher authority and we know better than what the old man already said.
Well, if you look at the 10 Commandments, the 10 Commandments are go against every bit of your ego. So yes, ego is what damages you. Bad.
MK Ultra, where they controlled the feelings and emotions of 8 billion people on the planet to act this kind of way.
If I can get you to fear, I can get you to spend all your money for your safety.
So see, that's why they roll up on you 5 deep on the side of the road. They want you unstable.
So that you give up all your money. And then they laugh about it that we took $6,000, $7,000, $8,000 through your lawyer. So they're actually in business with your lawyer and they think it's funny. And you have cops that are disavowing their honor oath. They come up to you in the courthouse and they say, do you realize what he's doing with your money? He took it, squandered it, and went to he's going to auctions and spending your money.
So all government is called what? Public office? That's a purchase order, right? PO? Public office?
Yeah.
And you all got to sign it. You all got to sign a piece of paper whether you vote for that public office or not. That's a purchase order. So all of the services that those offices preside, that's all purchase orders that you're signing off on, given the directives to go this way. See, man, this shit ain't that complicated. But we've been so lost in our imaginations over time that we've kind of lost the way. We got to get back to the way. Give it all back. Fuck all you motherfuckers. I don't need you. You guys need me. You got no sense of direction. You're all over the place. Stealing this one, stealing from that one. What the fuck? You don't need me. But you won't steal from me. And you won't come over here and put my life at risk. Because I have that God-given right to protect that creation that he gave me dominion to do so with.
I have watched 5-speed. I have watched a pile of white people sit there and get beat down to a bloody pulp and never throw a punch back, merely because someone came into their room and basically said, I'm the authority and that's how it goes here. You speak ill will of someone else, you get beat down. That's how it works.
Yep.
And I have watched people bend over and take it. They don't fight back. They shut their mouth and they go bleed in the corner or on the floor.
Yep.
And then they're forced to clean up their own blood and do it again tomorrow. And if you dare to open your mouth and speak ill will of another another race, you'll be beat down again tomorrow, or you'll get worse, which is death.
My wife asked me, Mark, one time. She said, "Do you think you're God?" I said, "No, why?" But there are those ones that when God calls and they see all of the children, God placed that call on them, and then they see all of those children trafficked. He put out a call for you. Did you rise up, or did you sit there and take it?
You sat there and took it. Yep.
See, nobody wants to me with this God that they think
a Native American will not just sit there and take it.
You
A
damn
Native
right.
American
bro.
will rise up, grab the bow and arrow, and start shooting.
So take that story of Jesus and find your
Damn
fucking
right.
egos in your own head through the man in the mirror and find that son of a bitch. Trap him, choke his guts out, get rid of him.
Yep. Because he doesn't belong here. He doesn't
So
fit
that
in
ego
here.
eases God out of everything.
What do you got to take care of at the end of the day? It's like the entire race. What did it produce? What is it producing? And if it's only producing hate, if it's only to the demise of every family for generations, what is it producing? It's not serving and protecting like it claimed. It started out on one platform and then it took it off all its cars. And now it says it's only there to protect the businesses. So what is it there for? So if you eradicate, then at what point are you going to end up with something positive at the end? But you have to wipe away the dirty.
Another
Good
thing
cleaning.
that I think is important is I said, if this God that everybody believes in was to come back tomorrow and said, okay, all you Christians, all you believers, time's up. What have you accumulated throughout your life following those two rules, not to harm and to care for one another?
Nothing. I've never lived a day not hurting someone. Not in America. Every day, either I have been hurt or I've hurt someone else.
Me on the outside looking in, I would look at, they seem to be incompetent and not fit to lead.
Hell, nowadays, if you open your mouth and talk, you done hurt somebody.
Yep.
Okay.
By me talking puts me on a list.
Don't turn this into no safe space now.
Safe space.
Start handing out coloring books.
No. But I'm telling you now, it don't matter. If I talk, 5 Speed talk, if it's a black man that talks, if it's an Oriental man that talks, if it's a Native American, if it's whatever, someone's gonna get pissed off and get hurt because of what they say.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So you can't get past it anymore. That's how divided we are.
I'm not here to coddle feelings and emotions.
I'm in agreement. I'm in agreement.
Hey,
I'm in
pride goes
agreement with their
before
pride.
destruction. And it is an attack on our Heavenly Father. So every time we take and you see it twisted and you don't do anything about it, that was you passively aggressively taking it and not doing anything about it.
Yep.
Make no mistake, it's you that's the pushover, not anyone else.
I told my 14-year-old daughter, I said, when you're walking down the street and you see something that ain't right, that's God reaching out to you right there. You better answer that call.
Your neighbor getting
You
attacked.
know it wasn't right.
You
what
know
they're
it wasn't
doing.
right.
How is it continuing?
Yep. Whatever that other person, they have to be stopped. Whether the cop's seen it or
It
not.
has to be
just
corrected.
Because someone else seen it and they know who it is, you got to go take your own.
Hence,
Do you know
why
how
a
many
jail
times
is called
I've-
corrections.
Do you know how many times I've done that though? And this is why people don't do it anymore. I still do it, but this is why a lot of people don't do it anymore. Do you know how many times by me stopping someone from doing something wrong, I either had the person that was the wrong was being perpetrated on get mad at me,
Yep.
or I get told by the police, "What business is of yours? Why did you even step into that?"
Well, the police
And then they threatened me with arrest because I stopped.
The one that
That's
was
why
ignorant to the
people
fact that
don't do it today.
I could care what they think, but the police, they should know better. They should
But
know
that's the
better. That's
thing.
what they're employed
That's
to
the thing.
take
It's
care of.
becoming commonplace, though.
I know.
I mean, look
Nobody's
at the
doing what they're
Marine that
supposed to
just
do.
went. Look at the Marine that just went to prison in New York for stopping a man from raping a woman.
Now, why isn't all these Christians outraged by that, though, Will?
I don't know. I'm not Christian. You know that, and I'm pissed
Me
off about
either.
that.
But that's all these Christians. Come on, where are you guys at?
Right.
Seems like the
I mean, he
faith guys has
stopped
got
a
a problem
freaking
with
rape
this, but
on
all
the
you
subway.
Christians don't.
Yeah, he stopped a rape on the subway and got put in prison for it. Now, how messed up is that?
It's insane.
Yeah. So, and now you see why people just stand there and watch it happen anymore and don't care. And that's why we become disheartened. And also, you know, you get trodden down like that so much, the masses start getting disheartened. They start walking away. Well, okay, we'll just get in trouble. Why should I help? They'll eventually get it right out there. Maybe.
Because the ones that I think myself, and this is just me speaking from my journey and the trials and tribulations and the struggle I had to come to whatever this truth is that I speak, right? Yeah. That's tough. I mean, it's
bad.
It's a fine line to walk.
It's gotten bad to the point where people are afraid to do the right thing and help people that they see wrongs are being done to.
But the ones that don't give up on that, though, Will, you already know the answer to that story. God put that on those individuals because he knew they would get the gosh damn job done.
Yep. That's why I've never stopped doing it. Never stopped.
We'll get the job done.
Yep.
Might just be 144,000 of us. Who knows?
Might be
the story
even less.
Continues.
It might even be less.
It's ever changing, and it will continue to be ever changing.
What's the character you played in that book of life?
Yep. Right. See, again, I welcomed over the masses, not just one, but many. I encouraged many to flop over the pond.
30, excuse me.
I mean, again, if your own people if they're not going to come to your aid, they're not going to help you out, I need to get guerrillas that are going to come help me. If nobody knows what a guerrilla is, can't help you. But I'm calling for them, and hopefully they come. And I don't care what they come with. I don't care if they come with a rock in their hand. As long as you came with something in your hand, I'm good. You know, like I just need people behind me now. You know what I'm saying? They've got a big slew of people behind them. So now it's time for me to get a big slew of people behind me.
Think about that language you're using. I need people behind me. No, I don't want to be in front of you, and I don't want to be behind you. I want to stand side by motherfucking
side with you.
Yep, that's it.
And
I want that beside me, not in front of me, not behind me.
5-speed. Do you know what that's called?
Alchem. Well, I don't know what it's called. I look at it as a real alchemist.
When you pair two people together, yoking, and we talked about that last time. So if you're yoking each other together, I want to be yoked with someone that accentuates to my liking. They're better than me, even though I'm not as strong as them. But I need someone that's stronger.
No, if you want to be yoked with someone, you want to be yoked with a person where your strengths will strengthen them and their strengths will strengthen you. And then you become better together. And then you become unstoppable. You don't want someone that's better than you already.
No, because you can't depend on the cocksuckers. They'll sell you out in a second.
Correct. Yeah. You want someone that your strengths will make them stronger and their strengths will make you stronger. Therefore, you're compatible and you work together.
And they know what they have to lose. They know what they have to lose. They know what's at stake.
Correct. And that's exactly what you want and exactly what anybody needs. And they need to walk beside you, not in front of you or behind you.
Damn, I think we set a precedent, Will. I think this is the longest we've ever talked about that God without getting it into any kind. So it seems that we are understanding each other now.
Well, 5-speed, in the past, I tell you, you've helped me look at that in a different light in the past. And the more I've looked at that, the more it's become apparent, the more it's become true to me. I even took time to meditate out in the woods on that in the past. So, yeah, there you go, 5-speed. So,
That's how we all learn together, right?
correct.
Because I learned from you.
Why do you think I bounce so much shit? Why do you think I bounce so much shit off you with my speaking, and I think you bounce some of your shit off me, and all that when we get to speaking? Is again, that comes back to what I just said. My strengths help to strengthen you, and your strengths help to strengthen me.
Right.
And there are many times when, okay, so check this out. There are many times when, okay, I don't see the direction that 5-speed's going in, but I know where he's going. I know where he wants to be going. I know what he's trying to say, and I just need to get on his level, but him as well as me. But I know, and here's the thing. I trust when I leave this room, or you see when I get kicked out or my internet goes down, you see the trust that I have with people that have been in my life for 7+ years. There is no chance or possibility that, hey, this dude screws me over. It just isn't going to happen because I have respect for you. You have respect for me. The commonality of what a real person has: morals, values. They don't want to tear you down. They only want to go forward, build you up stronger, better than what you were before. If I told you that I was not sitting in a prison cell thinking about 5-speed, thinking about News Now, Tammy Linlin, thinking about all the people, Mommy Ameni, Hunter, all these people, you'd be out of your mind, because I know where my heart is. It's in these people. It's in the people that struggle. They've lost their kids. They've lost their life. You don't just travel 1,400 miles for people you don't care about. People that don't come together at a picnic actually living life. Like if Sioux Falls wants to be so dull, I will go somewhere else. Family will be somewhere else, and they will love me the same as my own family loved me. They will provide for me. Hunter, the littlest of them all, was cooking all them burgers up at that cookout. Now, when he needs your help, where you at? You know, if he's going through a tough time, or he fell down and he's just not the man he should have been, someone needs to they correct him, and you yoke them together. And how do we build him back up to what he needs to be as a man? He's got to want it now.
You got to have that desire. You got to have that eye of the tiger. You got to want it, man.
Yep. Got to have a want it before you can do it. And then people can help you. Until you want it, no one's going to help you. You're just going to keep falling and falling and falling.
Don't lead into your own understanding. My Heavenly Father directs my path.
That's where all counsel should come from.
Yep.
I don't want for anyone to follow me. I want for people to follow the Heavenly Father. Follow what they're being told. Follow your hearts. Follow what feels right to you. If you do come here, still follow with your heart. Don't follow because I said to come here, but follow because there's people that will love you when you get here. They will use you for work. They will utilize your skill.
I had a buddy say to me, he said, well, 5-speed. He said, I don't get it. I can't see it like you see it. You know what I said to him? I said, it's because it's not something that you can see. It has to be felt. You know what I mean?
In your heart.
It has to be felt.
Yep.
Again, going back to the compassion and love for one another.
Mm-hmm.
You can't get that if you're online being violent. You can't get that if you're online speaking hate. You can't get that again.
You're right, because everybody's keeping the negativity going instead of the positivity and connecting with one another.
Telephone.
And building from there.
Is your time up, FTP?
Man, that sucks. Hold on.
I'll bet you he needs
What
to
can
go
I say
back
about
out and come back in.
the sheep are being separated from the goats as we speak? Real talk. I believe that. I believe that.
I don't consider myself any form of cattle, so I ain't going to say the sheep are being separated from the goats. The sheep are being separated from the wolves, and the lions right now.
Mhm.
And the sheep are in bigger numbers than the wolves and lions at this point.